up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid hot.
Fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Dog, when you know you love hoops, hey, let there be light, Cavassier. Hey, dog, we got a show to do. Wake up, Woodward. We over here watching these highlights, man. I love hoops.
Oh yeah. This is a hoop show, and we were watching some highlights on the TV of that incredible Thunder T-Wolves ending last night.
Look at that block, bro.
Culminated by
that
Anthony
was wild.
Edwards, man. A guy that I've had some words about, but he's playing really well in the second half of the season and really he's had a good season all along. It's just if the Timberwolves find their way out of the play-in and into the playoffs, you're going to have to give Anthony Edwards a ton of credit for that, because it's going to be on his shoulders.
He's making a lot of noise, and you know what? He was talking big at All-Star Weekend, but you know what? So was our guy, Cade Cunningham,
Yes.
man. And I got a take for when we get to the Pistons segment. I need you to tell me if I'm off my rocker or not.
I can't wait.
It's going to be a time, because those Detroit Pistons did it again. And you know what, man? It's your boy Brandon, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, credential Pistons reporting writer for the network. We got Flannel Sam Reynolds, the vet of the squad, vet of the network, Red Wings correspondent, man, all sports knower. And Michigan pulled off a win as well last night.
They did.
And I say pulled off because it was down to the wire.
Yes, and that's what we're going to start with, because it was ugly. I'm not going to lie. That Michigan win was ugly. I wasn't able to catch the entire thing because, I was watching. The Pistons were of utmost priority last night, but I was able to turn it over to the Michigan-Nebraska game, and I was able to watch the highlights.
Yeah. So, tell the people what's on the menu today.
Yes.
Obviously, there's going to be a lot of TL talk Pistons, TPB.
Yeah.
But what else is on the menu, brother?
All right, yeah. Before I get into Michigan, thank you for preventing me from going off on a tangent. Before I told everybody, we got lots of Pistons. It was a big win last night. Cade Cunningham keeps making statement after statement. I've got some numbers on some of the supplementary players that really shed some light just on how well they've played in the month of February. The Red Wings, they made themselves a transaction, which I know a lot of people are very happy about. You'll see if I'm happy or not. You can see by the snarl on my face that you can probably guess that I am, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later. And if we have some time, we'll get into a little bit of Tigers talk. We'll see how long that Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan talk carries us. But yeah, as we talked about before, Michigan, they got themselves a win last night. A nice bounce back after losing at home to Michigan State. It was ugly, though. I will admit it. The final score was 49-46. That's a good old-fashioned Big Ten slugfest, even though a lot of it was just bad basketball. But Michigan did avoid disaster, because if they were to lose that game, that would have been tough for their Big Ten hopes. That would have probably put a ding in their seeding. But I will give Michigan credit. This was a quick turnaround. That was a very emotional game on Friday. It was very much a letdown. They only had 2 days off in between. Then they had traveled to Lincoln, Nebraska, and they didn't play their best, but they were able to come out with a win. And there were a couple of things. When you win a game and you score 49 points, there's going to be some things that you don't like. I think the thing that I didn't like about that game for Michigan is their continued three-point shooting woes. For a large stretch of the season, they were a good three-point shooting team, but in their last 7 games, they've been about 30%, I think a little bit worse. Shot 19% from 3 last night. Trey Donaldson, Will Shedder, and who am I forgetting? Trey Donaldson, Will Shedder, and Amari Burnett, they shot 2 of 12 combined. That's not going to get it done. Those are your good three-point shooters, and if they're shooting like that, nobody's going to come to save you at that point. But I also didn't like the fact that it seemed like at the beginning of the game that Vlad Golden was going to have one of those 20-point games last night that he was going to eat. He scored 6 out of the first 8. Nebraska has 1 7-footer on their roster, and he only played 12 minutes. But it seemed like Michigan wanted to get away from him more than they should have. And maybe Vlad Golden wasn't aggressive enough, but it seemed like the offensive sets, they were trying to just shoot too many threes and jack up threes and almost try to get their three-point shot going, and it just never did. When I think Vlad Golden had a goal, well, no pun intended, had a golden opportunity to have himself a big game for whether it was his fault or not. Only had 8 shots in 32 minutes, only 8 points. Not his best. However, they did get the win, and that is what is the most important thing for sure. And what I did like was defense. And I understand Nebraska didn't shoot the ball well. Some of it was bad shooting, but you don't give up 46 points by accident. I thought that they were contesting, they were showing effort, the rim protection was nice with a Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf. And also, I like the way that Michigan made some adjustments in the second half guarding Bryce Williams. Bryce Williams is nice. If any of you watched the Michigan-Nebraska game last night, he's a stud, and he was murdering Michigan in the first half. But in the second half, Michigan had him contained relatively for Bryce Williams. I believe he scored 20 in the first half and 6 in the second half. And when Michigan was getting those stops, they were rebounding the bleeping basketball, as they should have. They had the size advantage. In this game, Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden did what I hoped they would do in the last game against Michigan State. They each had 10 rebounds. As a whole, they out-rebounded Nebraska, Michigan 50-43, and they won the battle on the offensive glass as well. Did not allow second chance points or opportunities. And one other thing I want to highlight before I pass it off to my boys. It was a bad offensive game. Don't get me wrong. But there was a stretch. And I get it. This was a bad game all around, but still a solid win, where Michigan was down 39-37. Probably too late in the second half for it to be 39-37, but I won't belabor that too much anymore. Danny Wolf makes a big 3 to put Michigan up 1. After trading turnovers, Michigan gets a stop. Danny Wolf grabs board. On the other hand, hits a mid-range jumper. Michigan gets another stop. Danny Wolf gets another rebound. And on the other hand, LJ Kaysen makes a big 3 to extend Michigan's lead to 6. So in a 2-minute and 7-second stretch, Michigan goes on a that'll be an 8-0 run to go from being down by 2 to up by 6. Nebraska eventually cut it to 1, but that's still the type of run where Michigan was able to put enough distance in between themselves and Nebraska so that whatever happened at the end, which was Michigan was probably lucky to escape that one, they had enough of a cushion, and they had that one stretch where they made a couple of threes, where they got a couple of big stops. That was enough for them to get out of Nebraska and survive this one. Hopefully they don't play this bad in their upcoming games. They got Rutgers, they got Illinois, they got Maryland, then they got MSU. But this was a spot game. They survived, they advanced, and all's well and good. They're tied for first place in the Big Ten again.
It's okay if they play bad in that MSU game.
Right.
Get your shit off.
You know what?
You got another week to get your shit off.
Your team helped you, but you know what, man? They had the game on in the media room while we were down there writing our articles. Shout out to Cody Davis as well. He said he's been tapped into a couple of the shows. He's going to join the show again soon because he told us, I do believe that the Detroit Pistons are going to have a Houston Rockets-like jump this year. He said, I see it. I saw this already. And J.B. Bickerstaff is that type of coach. So it was dope to kind of be there with him, Hunter Patterson, Mari Sankofa and the fellas.
Shout out.
And we were able to watch that Michigan game, like the last few minutes of it, and we were like, yo, is Michigan going to pull this out? And I got to be honest with you, I was holding my breath even on the last 2.3 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that 3 was about to drop.
Because somehow, some way, on that final, Michigan was up 3 with 2.3 seconds left. On that final play, on that final inbound, in which Danny Wolf was actually guarding the inbounder, Nebraska somehow got a good look out of it.
I was like, and then it dropped. Like all of us in the media room kind of like got up, walked over to the TV. It was like,
if Nebraska would have hit that, I would have probably fell on. I would have collapsed like Calvin Johnson style. Just been like, ugh. But hey, the good news is that was technically a good look, but the guy who shot it was 0 of 10 on the night, so no look was good for him that night. The possession before, after Roddy Gale missed the front end of that 1-and-1, I think it was Essinger or whatever. He was the guy who transferred from Esigen, who transferred from Wisconsin last year. He had a good look from 3, and you could tell it was short on TV, and Michigan was able to get the rebound. Trey Donaldson was able to seal it at the free throw line. I thought seal it. Nebraska got themselves a good look after that, but sometimes you got to survive in advance. You're going to have those clunker games. The Big Ten is notorious for sometimes those 57 to 54 slugfest where nobody can hit shots. It's very physical. And last night, it was that on steroids. Hopefully, it was nobody's first Michigan game of the season that they watched, because it was not a good game, but there were some positives, as I highlighted before, and you avoided disaster. And by the way, going into Nebraska, that's a tougher environment than it's given credit for. So I'm going to take the win. I'm going to be happy, and I'm just going to hope that they bounce back on Thursday and play a better game against Rutgers.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the one thing I'm looking at is this squad. My God, I'm looking at this freaking whiteboard over here with Tobias Harris's name on it. It's just throwing me off, dog. But that's
You didn't even notice.
I didn't even notice this was over here. Holy
it
shit.
threw me off, dog. I'm sorry.
I didn't even notice this was over here.
I see the people in the chat as well. They want Pistons, but I want to see Michigan catch some type of rhythm, some type of stride. You're heading into Big Ten tournament time. You're heading into the March Madness. And I do believe Dusty May is a guy who's had some success in these tournaments, getting his teams ready to go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to see this team get a little bit more. What are y'all doing? This booth, dog.
Yeah,
you want to see the catcher consistency.
Hey, we're going to talk more about that extensively.
Extensively. Yo, shout out to Salih Booth as well. Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth. That is KG. What up, though, brother?
Yes, sir. We got another one. Just so y'all know, we love Tobias Harris around Wake Up Woodward. But nah, man, feeling good. And Sam hit the nail on the head. Just a grimy Big Ten game. But thank God that they got the victory, man. You want to see Michigan shoot that three ball better, because they are a team that's really reliant upon the three ball in order for everything else to work. So you just hope that they can start shooting better, because it's approaching March and going into the tournament. You don't want to keep playing like this, man. Very, very sloppy game, but glad they got the win.
Very, very glad they got the win. And, what up, though, Cavassier Chase as well. He's in the building holding it down. This shirt looks epic. I just got to shout that out, man.
Thanks. Yeah. from like some beer Olympics back up in Mount Pleasant. It's like our country's flag. We picked the country of Djibouti, an East African nation.
Hey.
It's got a funny name. That's why we picked it.
Djibouti.
So these are the flag colors of Djibouti, and I wear it with pride.
Let's rock, man.
Shout
I
out
can't wait
Djibouti.
for Chasing Adventures to drop.
I like some Djibouti.
With Chase Lounge.
We all like some Djibouti.
My wife got some nice Djibouti.
MVP in the TD booth. It's a Tuesday.
It
and
is.
it's a double victory show, man. Two of them things. In the TD booth, that is JB Smooth. What up, though?
Bizzle.
I mean, one of those things. I don't know about Michigan. You almost slipped up there. You almost slipped
But
up
we-
there.
but we did. Ohio State
But we
had on
didn't.
today.
What? Nah, we didn't. What's up?
You didn't. So
Is that
fair
Ohio
enough,
State or
fair
Nebraska?
enough. Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's a Red Wings
Oh,
hat.
it's a Red Wings hat. We're homemade here, baby. Homemade all day. But hey, shout out to everyone in the chat right now. We got the super chat goal going as well too. As you guys know, we are trying to make our way to the Summer League out in Vegas. So everything that you give in super chat goes directly to us and goes for us to go to Vegas. So we're starting out small here, just 50 super chats. Everyone chips in $1. Hey, guess what? That's $50 for today. And like I said in the chat as well, we'll sweeten the pot. We're going to do some giveaways. We got t-shirts, some signed merch as well too. I think Kool-Aid is also trying to get with the Pistons to get some tickets
We're gonna
for
have
you guys
tickets
as well too. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to give away to encourage you guys to chip in with these super chats as well too. So help us out, and then we'll help you out as well too.
Yeah, every $50, it activates another giveaway. Today's first giveaway will be merch. One, if you are still waiting on merch, email me, koolaid@woodwardsports.com. We'll get it over to the team that handles that stuff. But every $50, there will be a giveaway. We did talk with sales yesterday, too, so we're working on Soroki's giveaways as well. So you guys are going to have opportunity to get memorabilia. You're going to have opportunity to get merch. You're going to have opportunity to get tickets to games. And you got to think about this as well. Both of these teams are in playoff runs right now. And I believe we're going to have double playoff victories, double playoff teams at LCA. And yes, there will be ticket giveaways there as well. So
yes.
as JB Smooth let you guys know, the super chats, they help us. I'm glad for the support that you guys give us regardless. As always, you all are the most important part of this thing. So make sure that you go ahead and smash that like button.
Smash that.
But you know what? Let's hit that first goal. $50 is on the board. Somebody will get merch of a T-shirt of your choice.
Absolutely. And a second benefit is your comment will definitely be read. So no matter what it is, whether it's you could even say, I hate Flannel Sam and I hope he gets fired, and I'll read it. So if you really, Phil, if you want to say it, if you want to come in there, put in the super chat, or else you're getting nothing from me.
JZJ, $4.99 super chat.
Oh, there we go.
He said, I'm going to get the ball rolling.
Hey.
God bless. You know what? God bless you. God bless the chat. Everybody as well, man.
Yep.
And you know what? People been asking for it. Hey, KG, they've been saying TPB.
What?
You want to tell the people what that means?
Talk Pistons, bitch.
Word to our brother, Matt Broder, man. Let's get to that next segment, man. We got to talk about this win. 7 wins in a row for these Detroit Pistons, man. And LCA was rocking.
First time in 10 years. Jalen Duran throwing that 7 up at the end of the game, man. Just you love to see it, bro. You love to see it.
When did he throw that up? While the game was, it was still seconds.
Yeah,
on
right.
The clock. I was like, look at that boy. Look at this.
Hey, love to see it. We're going to break it down extensively because there is a lot to break down when it comes to this Pistons team. But first, I got to tell you about Planet Fitness. It's fitness that fits your budget. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as unlimited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Mize Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Do yourself a favor, scan that QR code on screen, use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, but all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, you know what? They will throw it right back into your account with no questions asked, but it's gonna hit. Come on now. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code, use code word Woodward1000, and make some money today.
Hey, Victory Shades back on because it's a victory show. Those Detroit Pistons, man, they moved to 32-26. That is officially more wins than they had combined the last 2 seasons. This turnaround is absolutely incredible, and it's one that continues to punctuate, as you said at the beginning of the show, the MVP case for one Mr. Cade, Parker, Cunningham. It's absolutely unreal. It is absolutely unreal, man. And the stat line last night was brilliant. Another 30-plus game. This is what I want to see. 32 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds for Cade Cunningham. And you know what? He shot 4 of 9 from behind the arc, and he found a way to get 12 free throw attempts. Hit 10 of them, man. What a game.
Absolutely beautiful. And I got to shout out another content creator in this space, Ku Kahil, because he had a similar thought that I did after that game. Shout out Ku again. Is that when you look at the 9 of 22, that's not a good shooting percentage, but that's one of those games where you have to factor everything in. You have to factor the fact that he was 4 of 9 from 3. You have to factor in the fact that he got to the free throw line 12 times. That's one of those games where his true shooting is going to be very flattering. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm sure it's in the 60s somewhere, or at least approaching 60. And when you really think about it, with the 32 points, with the 7 assists, he probably generated about 50 points of offense on 22 shots. And those 12 free throws, it tells you, and you saw it last night, that he was aggressive. He was driving to the cup, usually, as he always does, pretty much can get there anywhere he wants. He was shooting from 3. That was one of those 3-level scoring type games. And it's just, when you put up numbers like that and the Pistons continue to win, you keep putting yourself further into conversations that are going to make some people across the national NBA media uncomfortable. I still see some odds that don't have Cade Cunningham listed in the top 5. You're going to have to adjust those odds soon. You're
going to have to, man. And you know what? The true shooting is spot on. It's what we called out in his top 10, in his last 10 games as well in our last show, was the 60.4% true shooting that Cade Cunningham has had. This has been one of those biggest things that I've been talking about, what makes him so special. There's a lot of times people say, man, he went 1 of 6 from the field, but if you look at his field goal percentage, he shot pretty good from everywhere else on the floor. And the way that with the effective field goal and the true shooting percentage is recalculated, it shows the actual effectiveness of a player like Cade Cunningham. And you know what? One of my biggest takeaways, I will say it's my biggest takeaway actually, from this win over the Clippers, it's that Cade Cunningham, the game is completely in the control of Cade Cunningham whenever he's on the floor.
Yep.
There was never a time last night where when Cade was on the floor that there was any angst. And this is becoming more and more and more consistently a thing. And this is where my take is. Cade Cunningham is the first Detroit Pistons player we've had that's been able to control and dictate the game, control the pace and dictate the flow of a game from either side, offensively or defensively, since Ben Wallace. We haven't had a Pistons player that's been able to do that. We know what people have said about Ben Wallace on the defensive side of the floor, being able to dictate a game, being able to control the flow of a game. What Cade Cunningham is doing by dictating the game with his pace and his control, and you have to add this in there. We talk about the true shooting, the efficiency, his ability to finish at the rim. Cade Cunningham is absolutely controlling games. What time last night in that game did you believe anybody else was on his level? Anybody else was going to even make a difference on the Clippers team to be able to take that game away from Cade Cunningham?
Nobody, and it wouldn't have mattered if Kawhi or Norman Powell was out there. Cade Cunningham is the best player on either team, and it's not even close at this point. Not even close. And that's because he's one of the best players in the league. That's because he continues to put up numbers that are not only going to make him on the third team All-NBA, pretty soon we might be looking at the third team as light work, because I've got some more numbers, because of course I do.
A stepping stone.
Yes, we've all had the numbers when it comes to the Cade and Pistons the last couple of days, because they're just so damn flattering. In the month of February, in which the Pistons are 7-2 in games in which Cade Cunningham has played. He didn't play in that Philadelphia game, but they're 7-2 when Cade has played. This is a 9-game sample size. He is averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists on 47, 38, 92 shooting splits. Those are monster numbers. That's first-team All-NBA type-ish right there. I'd be hard-pressed to find any player in the NBA who's having a better month of February than Cade Cunningham. This is the best month of his career. This is the Pistons as a team best month since Cade Cunningham has been there. It's spectacular. He's spearheading all of it.
How many players in the league are having a better year than Cade Cunningham? It's
only
two in the stratosphere. It's him and Jokic. And that's what's crazy. And you know what, man? I know we're going to get into it probably a little bit in the next segment. We're going to talk about some of the major contributions, the contributions from some of the role players on this team. And I believe some of these guys are going to be bordering on all-star consideration by next season. I do believe that if Jalen Duren continues this trend, he's going to get some mighty consideration, especially when you look at some of the bigs that were there this year, man. But you got a game against Boston. You got a game against the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, you don't look too far ahead. This Boston game is going to be epic. I know we'll talk about it a little bit later, but when we're looking at a Cade Cunningham type player, man, it's almost getting silly with the way, and I'm going to go back to how he's dictating the game. But there's another player on this team that I believe is approaching a rarefied era as it relates to dictating the game on one end of the floor, and that's Ausar Thompson.
Oh. His
versatility, his ability to kind of just be everywhere, be in the right positions, whether it's in transition, whether it's in the half court, he's extended his streak of games. And this is his career high with having a steal. And he's defending everything. You look at him in the pick and roll. He's defending everything. He'll switch on to the big. He'll take the guard. He'll defend the wing. He's defending the ones. And you see him out there making a difference. And defensively, that's something that Cade talked about. You guys have heard me talk about this before, too, that it seems like their best offense, other than literally Cade pushing things, is when they turn it from defense to offense. And it was cool to hear Cade Cunningham talk about that last night. If you have that clip.
Oh, yeah.
Speak to the team's growth and mindset defensively, which has carried you all, even on nights where you haven't really shot the ball that well as a team.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we try to hang our head on. That's our identity is defense. I mean, having Ausar playing the way he's playing, he's a lot of defense out there on the court and within himself. So we're lucky to have him, but we have a lot of guys that can make plays on that end. It allows us to get out and run. I think that's our best offense. So just, sticking with that mindset, I think it'll help us in the playoffs. I think it'll help us, when we're trying to win championships. So we're just trying to build a foundation of that right now.
I love the fact that the words coming out of his mouth consistently now are things like playoffs, championships. He's like, that's the mindset we're going to need in the playoffs. They've already booked their ticket. That's what I love about him, man. The confidence they're putting out there, the fact that they know the defensive end is where they're going to have to get it. Are they playing perfect defense? No. Do they have things to clean up? Yes. But their hustle, their tenacity, them really being in line with and listening to Coach J.B. Bickerstaff and being connected defensively, bringing this level of physicality to the paint. Like, they look angry. Jalen Duren looks pissed off at himself. Jalen Duren looks pissed off at the league for really and everybody, including guys like me for a while, for not understanding, you know what, I'm making that leap this year still. I don't care how I started, man. And it's been an epic thing to see. I know we're going to talk a little bit more in the next segment about some of these other players, but it's awesome to see these guys, especially the young players, be some of the more instrumental parts and reasons why the Detroit Pistons are having this success. 7 games in a row. We've been calling for this. The Houston Rockets, even with the vets, it's been because of guys like their all-star. Who was their all-star this year? Alperen Sengun, young guy. When you look at the Orlando Magics, we all can go to Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. Now when we look at the Detroit Pistons, we love what Beasley's given us, but you know what we're looking at? That connection between Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. The connection between Jalen Duren and Ausar Thompson. We're talking about the young guys. Before he went down, Jaden Ivey. We can't sleep on the type of season he was having.
Yeah.
And we still have an opportunity to get him back. I just want him healthy. It's good to see him out of his walking boot, but we still have a chance to get that dog healthy as well, man. And the future is beyond bright, not just for this season, but beyond.
And speaking of Cade Cunningham's peers, although this guy isn't as good as Cade Cunningham, but is at a similar stage in his career, Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers lost last night. So that could bode well in the standings for the Pistons because they were able to pick up a game. And yes, it was a game against the sizzling hot Nuggets, but still, I love to pick up a game. And you were just mentioning guys like Sengun and Paolo and Franz. Cade is so far above all those guys. I'm not even trying to be, Homer or anything like that. But he just is. I like Sengun a lot. And you know who really Cade is farther along than? You know who we mentioned, the Houston Rockets All-Stars? Did I hear Jalen Green's name?
Nope.
I really don't like that guy.
That should have never been a conversation. I don't know where that ever came from, but whatever, man. When you look at Cade Cunningham, it is exactly what people say it is.
Yeah.
He's just an ethical hooper. And I love the fact that whether he's getting the free throw calls or not, whether he's getting the foul calls or not, or the free throw attempts, he's still going out there and just balling out. And that's what I mean. Like, I want people to be able to tell me if there's been a player in between Ben Wallace and Cade Cunningham who's been able to control the game based on the way he dictates the pace. Obviously, we know that Ben Wallace did it from a defensive level. That's what people tip the cap to him about. That he could go out there without scoring and still have this monumental effect on the game. And when you look at Cade Cunningham playing at his own pace, hitting the shots at a high efficiency, and still going out there and having the assists all across the floor. You're talking about points responsible. He's going to have an opportunity every single night to be responsible for half the Pistons' points.
Yeah.
Every single night. Because even with the assists, you got to think about how many of those are going to Malik Beasley for threes. So that's what I'm saying. Every single night, if he's putting up 30 and getting close to 10 assists, that's minimum 50 points responsible for every night. And when you look at the fact that he's also giving you something on the defensive side, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Why are we saying he's the best point guard in the East? Why are people saying he's the best? He's now in this conversation as best point guard in the league. It's because of these things. It's not just the stats. We've seen other guys put up stats. But it's the fact that now you see this team winning is because of how he's controlling the pace of that game.
And that's what it is. There's never any wasted movement. There's never any time where it feels like Cade Cunningham is out of control or doesn't have a plan for what he wants to do, whether it's in the half court, whether it's in transition, whether it's in the pick and roll. He's made all of these guys better. We're going to talk about how in the month of February, so many players have been just balling for the Detroit Pistons, and a lot of that has to do with how well they're playing off of Cade Cunningham, because he is the maestro. He's the one that when Jalen Duren sets a screen and rolls to the basket, he's the one that throws them the lob. He's the one that throws it to a wide open Malik Beasley in the corner for Malik Beasley to knock it down. He's the one that'll find a cutting Asar Thompson, who will then get himself a dunk. The way that he controls the game, that way he is able to find anybody and everybody who is open, who is available for a good look, has been one of the driving forces in them having this great season and them having this torrid month of February.
And why do I want to, and why am I glad we're shining the spotlight on him? Because when you look at the steals of the games, just look at the steals, take the frames of the game. Look at the way the defenses are playing him, bro.
Yeah.
They're playing almost like a triangle defense against Cade. There are two primary defenders on every pick and roll, and then there's always a third. They went to something pretty good where they would drop the backline defender to try and stop Jalen Duren from hitting. And what did JB Bickerstaff do? He countered by sending in Tim Hardaway and bringing out Asar Thompson. So he put in another three-point shooter. And it was just, I saw like these little chess matches because of the way they were like, get the ball out of his hands. And if he does get into the middle, we don't want him to get the mid-range, and we don't want him to get it to Jalen Duren. Well, guess what? Didn't matter. That's what I'm talking about. Because of the potential. I'm so glad you mentioned the potential points, but let's get into that next segment. One game out of the 4 seed.
Wow.
One game out of the 4 seed. And before we move on to the next segment, I just have to drop this. Paolo Banchero is the most overrated up-and-coming player in the entire NBA.
Damn.
The man shoots 42% from the floor while being 6'10".
Not overrated.
Cade Cunningham clears Paolo Banchero so far. And the Orlando Magic, even though a lot of it has to do with the fact that Paolo was out, they are looking up at the Pistons in the standings. I just wanted to get that out there. Just a couple months ago, the idea of Cade Cunningham being better than Paolo was something that was seen as heresy. Now it should be common knowledge. Go shoot more than 30% from 3 and actually get some looks at the basket. You're 6'10", you're not 6'4". Anywho.
Get your shit off, Sam.
Anywho, when you have that kind of inefficiency and you have that kind of a body, it just makes me want to seethe. But enjoy him, Orlando. He's a solid player, but he's not Cade. Anywho, tell us about merch.
I got you. Before I do that, let's clear up some super chats we got going on here as well too. Shout out to Phil, just sending in $1.99 just to say what up. What up, Phil?
What up?
See you, man. $10 from Flannel's favorite person out here, one Mr. Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer.
Damn right. Shout out my dog.
He said, I said this on BDE yesterday, but if you're someone
my goodness.
who made that noise.
Right. We grown ass men in here. Who made that noise?
He said this on BDE yesterday, but if you're someone who hates the modern NBA, give the Pistons a shot. They play physical defense and run in transition. Cade is the best player that they've had since Zeke. Damn.
Tried to tell y'all.
Hey. And finally, another $10 super chat from Jeff Burrell said, man, this season is so nice, but this makes me more frustrated about last season and how we squandered it. So it is what it is, but hey, you know what? Pistons are bouncing back as it is right now. Well, let me tell you about some merch that we got going on. Head over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. New designs for you every single week. You know we got Piston stuff up there as well too. We need to get some new Piston stuff as well, but remember, Motorcade is out there. Got the Woodward shirts, sweatshirts as well too, and you can't forget about the Red Wings, LFG Red Wings. Let's go over to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, get swagged out.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage. My favorite, that hot lather neck shave. Hey, you know, I'm sure Batman has to do that with the cape and the cowl. He needs that hot lather neck shave.
Yeah,
you know
it's got to be wet, you know?
Hey, and a hot towel treatment, you know, for the part, because his mouth is open in the mask. But
I guess.
Hey, you know what? Batman, you're welcome to come in anytime to Lady Jane's.
Oh, we was talking about Batman?
7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's haircuts are in. It's wicked awesome. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, man. We appreciate you, chat family, for supporting the WUW Crew. You guys are the most important part of this thing, and you guys already got me fired up, man. I see all the Batman love in the chat and everything.
Yeah, man.
People talking about it, Gotham, and that's why I'm glad that even on our merch shop, who is emblemized as Batman on there?
Cade
Cunningham,
the Cade Crusader.
The Cade Crusader. I still believe that nickname rocks. I do. When people talk about different nicknames for him, I actually like that one a lot, man. But do we got some stuff to clean up over there, JB Smooth?
Yeah, another super chat that got sent in when we were going to break.
Shout out to
$19.99 from Fix Your Face.
Shout out.
Just wanted to help you make your goal. Love all of you guys. We love you
Love
too,
you
man.
too,
Appreciate
Fix Your
it,
Face.
man.
Hey, shout out, man. Thank you guys, man. That stuff, I'm telling you, goes a long way. Hey, you know what? Let's just satisfy that like button before we get into segment number 2 on these Detroit Pistons. We got to talk about a lot of the other players that are stepping up right now and contributing to the 7-game winning streak.
Hey, why not, man? Just go ahead and satisfy. Because
Just hit it.
I know the people feeling good out there. You know, I know Cade got you hot and bothered. The man is just, he's so damn smooth, man. And another way that you can be like Cade is go ahead and rub your finger on that like button real nice and smooth.
Hard
like.
as Batman would.
Yeah, I mean, you can tap it a few times if you want. I mean, shit. You can bang it out if you want to.
You can even share it.
Take the like button to Pound Town, man.
Hey, you know what? Pound it, and when you're done, share it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Pass her off.
All right.
I mean, you're not Pat Beverly, so.
All right. We're totally just talking about Detroit Pistons right now. And I'm glad that, you know what, Flannel Sam, during this Pistons run, has loved highlighting the role players, ironically.
I know, hate them all, every last one of them.
And we all know about Malik Beasley, but we've seen Tobias Harris at least become something consistent on both ends of the court for this team, and he's been able to come up in some big moments to stave off. I like how they utilize Tobias Harris when Cade Cunningham is not in the game. That's been another little wrinkle that I've appreciated in the second half of games. And when you look at the players like Jalen Duren, like Asar Thompson, we've talked greatly about them because of the leaps they've made both defensively and how they are meshing and fitting in seamlessly offensively. It's been an awesome thing. I think one of the underrated role players for me is Tim Hardaway Jr. If you look at the sets that they run, look at how many pick and rolls Tim Hardaway and Cade Cunningham run. Tim Hardaway is not a big man.
No.
But he sets these solid screens. He finds himself available for pick and pops. He finds himself available to be able to cut off of those. And a lot of times Cade Cunningham is being able to spring open to either score or make another play. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, shout out to him for being kind of like that Amon-Ra St. Brown guy who's going to go out there and get, busy. He's going out there, not necessarily with the biggest of stature, but he's going out there. And when you talk about just kind of talking about the guys that help make this go, I know we're going to talk about certain stats, but it's just some of those things that don't show up in the stat sheets that I want to be able to call out from guys like him and Beef Stew.
Sure. And speaking of things that don't show up in the stat sheet, or they do indirectly, Asar Thompson last night.
Yes.
He had James Harden in a straitjacket. I will just say that. And I love to see it because I can't stand James Harden. Me and Neil Rule have arguments about him constantly. Love to see it. I mean, James Harden, 5 of 22, 7 turnovers. Asar Thompson just had him on lockdown. And shout out to Dennis Schroeder and Cade Cunningham as well, who took their turns guarding James Harden. But no matter who it was, James Harden was in jail. And Asar Thompson, 6 stocks. 4 steals, 2 blocks. Unbelievable. And I know we didn't want to get too much into stats just yet, but I've got one when it comes to Asar Thompson, which really brings
brother.
Which really brings home his value even more. And I alluded to it on yesterday's show. Asar Thompson, we all know that he doesn't get a lot of minutes. He plays on average about half the game, about 24 minutes per game, which means that his per 36 numbers are insane. And probably his most insane ones is that per 36 minutes, Asar Thompson averages 2.9 steals per game. The NBA leader is Dyson Daniels at 3.1, and he plays 34 minutes per game. What that tells me and what the eye test tells me is that Asar Thompson is on first-team all-defense trajectory. Honestly, on a per-game basis, he could probably get it this year. I don't think that he will, but Asar Thompson has been an absolute demon defensively, and even with finishing around the rim and cutting. But last night, seeing how much he was frustrating James Harden was like chef's kiss. Love to see it. Asar Thompson, I have fallen in love with you over time. At the beginning, I wasn't so sure, but damn it if you can't impact games, man.
I love it. I'm telling you, I'm going to keep going back to it, man. It was during the draft time where I absolutely fell in love with who Asar Thompson was. Before that, I was saying things like Jarris Walker's out there. We need a big who can try and stretch the floor. And it was a couple other players that fit that mold. But I sat right there in that chair. I believe I was talking to, on this show, I remember Jeff was here. I believe you might have been up here as well. And I remember looking up and I said, you know what, guys, though? If you want to hit the home run, there's safe pick Jarris Walker, but if you want to hit the home run, it is Asar Thompson. And that was based off of a lot of the information we had gathered during the draft process from people who had helped during that time. Shout out Rez Ball Pod, the homie who was on a lot of draft coverage during that time, and said, look, don't discount Asar Thompson or Amon Thompson just because they went to overtime elite. These guys are real hoopers.
If anything, it helped them.
Life is basketball.
If anything, it helped them.
Yeah, it helped them because they were able to hone their skills and dedicate their skills because they already have the physical attributes. And Kevin Ollie was one of those guys, I'm going to continue to say it, who throughout his time in the league, people said that guy is going to be a future coach. What was he at Overtime Elite? He was the director of player development and coaches there.
Yeah.
So he was the one instrumental with bringing in the different coaches to coach the different teams in that league. And Asar was just a guy who it seemed like every time he was just asked to kind of be fit in by osmosis, he did that. But when it was time to turn up, he did that too, and it just intrigued me. And now you look at the Pistons, and realistically, between Ausar and Cade, you got a couple 6'7" guys who can really do a lot of different things on both ends of the court.
Yeah.
If that three-point percentage, shout out Fred Vincent, continues to go in the right direction for Ausar Thompson, he's going to be one of the scariest two-way players in all of the NBA. And defensively, I believe that he's one of those guys who, if this was next year and he's doing some of the same things, he's already in the defensive team, all NBA defensive team conversations. I believe that what's going to happen this year is what Rod talks about. Sometimes it's a year or two for people to catch up to what they're doing. But we see him doing defensively. The stats are not lying. That's why I said drop them. We can talk about the intangibles because that matters as well, but the stats obviously is what validates. The stats and the wins are what validates those intangibles.
There's not a single wing defender I'd rather have on my team than Ausar Thompson at this point. I'd rather have him than even Dyson Daniels right now. And I get it, there's a little bit of homerism, but if you just look up the numbers, if you just look at the impact that he's having, if you just look at the way he fits into this team, it's been absolutely seamless. And it's funny that you mentioned it because I was in the same boat. I would have, if GM Flannel Sam would have been a thing, I would have taken Sheriff Walker over Ausar Thompson, and I'd be like, oh no! Yeah. I also would have taken Cody Williams over Ron Holland. Oh no! But it's those defensive wings, and they're both having an impact. But Ausar Thompson, he's at a whole different level. And as we've mentioned before at the beginning of the year, he's huge. He can guard 1 through 4 for sure.
Remember, bro, we had the video earlier in the season from practice. I think it was during training camp. That's what it was. And Ausar was just getting off of his restrictions, I believe. That's when it was. So he was able to do a little bit of physical contact because the league had kind of just cleared him. He was going to ramp up. And remember, he was backing down Ron Holland in the paint.
Yeah.
And the difference between the two of them, just from a height and a size, physicality, I'm just like, man, one, shout out to whatever the Pistons are doing in there to make sure that these young players are developing. Because we saw Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, and Ausar Thompson all enter this season with more muscle and more muscle mass than they did last year. So that's brilliant. That only makes me even more encouraged for a guy like a Ron Holland, who I during the draft thing, you can go back and roll the tape. We had initial reactions and we had to break it down. And one of my bigger takeaways was this: if all we have to worry about is a 3-point, he's going to be fine. But with that defense, he's going to be great. It's just the strength. I thought that the strength was going to be something as he gets that up, training with NBA trainers, that you're going to see improvements in his defense, 3-point shooting, and ability to be on the court offensively.
And you mentioned it too when it comes to just the Pistons as a whole. They hit the weight room. And I love to see that because when you're watching a game, especially when you hear like opposing teams broadcast and the Pistons opponent makes a play where they overpower a Piston and you would hear them say, get in the weight room. That would just make me so mad because it's so disrespectful. But they're not saying that about the Pistons this year because the Pistons have gotten in the weight room and they are getting after teams defensively to the tune of only giving up 97 points to the Clippers last night, which was only one of their fantastic performances.
Yeah, no, shout out to the Pistons training staff and people like Ashton, the trainer, out there making sure this team is ready to go, man. They are a physical team. But I wanted to ask y'all, do y'all think that, maybe Ausar Thompson gets more notice from a national lens if he gets more minutes? Will he get more notice defensively that way? Do you think it's correlated to just him getting more minutes?
I'll say this, and I know it's not going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But if you see Ausar Thompson and his name at number 1 on steals per game, that's the type of thing where nobody can deny him at that point. And I know that he's getting more run as time goes on. Just you look at the month of February, and it's not just his defensive impact, but his accounting stats have been great as well. More on that in just a second. But yeah, once you start getting to the point where it's not just per 36 numbers, where it's just your numbers, how can you be denied at that point?
Listen, Ausar Thompson, I believe this year's playoffs is going to be the narrative driver for the Pistons.
I can see
That's where all eyes are going to be on people, and they're going to come away with this. No matter if Ausar Thompson is playing 20 minutes a game or 35 minutes a game, it doesn't matter next year. The narrative is going to be changed. People will not be able to deny the type of impact he's having. We're seeing the impact he's having right now on minutes that are not commensurate to his level of talent, and we understand why. They're still ramping him back up. They still are being cautious with his medical condition, and I actually applaud that approach. I'm a person who college career was cut short, had a large left ventricle, was one of those guys early on. If y'all remember, the old 97 won the ticket when they were doing the whole $10 get your heart checked thing. They were just starting that. Athletes during my era were just starting to get those types of heart issues, and we don't know why. But to be able to have those checks and to have those measures in place to be able to get players back into playing basketball effectively, that's where I definitely applaud them. And I do believe whether he's still kind of at that 25 minute a game mark, he's still going to prove to be, at least on the national stage for narrative, beyond what we already know, to be a guy who is absolutely impacting the game in a great way each and every game.
Yeah, but this is why I also said he does so much with the minutes that he's given that I don't ever really want to even see him exceed over maybe 33 minutes a game. I think you can deploy him for 30 minutes. If they can get him up to 30 minutes a game, that'd be nice. But you deploy him 30 minutes, let him go out there and do his deal, and just preserve that, because you always want to take his health into account. But for what he gives you in the time that he gives it to you in, man, he's such a talented player, bro.
And you know what? I see Dante 151. Woodward Pistons. Can there be a study on the 76ers and how but they are? And that's but with two T's. Obviously, he's a different word. Dante, I know you're one of my Woodward Pistons supporters from like the OG days. You know we did that study already. I've been crapping on the 76ers since they started the process, and it has worked out exactly how I thought it would.
Shout out Kool-Aid. You got the foresight.
It's on there, bro. It's on there. We did a whole breakdown of why I told people that the Pistons rebuild was only going to be 4 to 5 years max, period. Cade Cunningham is in year 4. This thing started, I guess, this is season 5. They have arrived. The Philadelphia 76ers took 7 years, and they still have not done anything. When they said, all right, we're ready to start playing, it was 7 years of putridness. 7 years of waiting to see what your star is going to be. And guess what? I would rather have Cade Cunningham 100 over 100 out of every single player that the Philadelphia 76ers drafted during that process, including Joel Embiid. I'm just being honest with you.
Oh, yeah, considering Joel Embiid's injuries. And if it's funny how you said you always knew that the process was going to fail. I am going to out myself. Ben Simmons was one of my godsons for a while. Yeah. I loved his game so much, that 6'10" point guard. I'm like, I was in the same boat. Once that man gets a jump,
Killian Hayes. So
once that man gets a jump shot, it's over. And he was good. Don't get me wrong. He made the All-Star game a couple of times, but just something went on in his mentals. It seems like, to where just one day he was really good. Never developed the jump shot. One day was good, was even like an all-NBA defense type of player, and then just one day, it was that series against those confounded Hawks and Trae Young.
He didn't put up the fucking layup.
I know.
He ran away from the layup, and it was never the same after that.
You know how much I hate the Hawks. I hated Trae Young back then. I'm like, this little... mofo's gonna... But anywho,
but how do you not put that layup up, bro?
But do you know what else?
He was scared.
He was. It was over after that, bro.
He was scared.
That was the moment.
Speaking of the Philadelphia 76ers, everybody in the chat, everybody in the room, do you want to laugh really loud?
Talk to us, bro.
The 76ers at one point were down to the Bulls at home last night by 50.
Damn. 50 points?
136 to 86. Look it up.
Oh, that's disgusting.
They were down by 50.
That's disgusting.
And you know what else? The Bulls weren't even playing Vucevic.
Can you imagine going through the process as fans, being told to trust the process, buy in? You probably have merch right now.
Yes.
Think about it. With the Restore, we can at least be happy with the draft picks we came away with.
Yeah.
I can wear my Restore shirt knowing that it represents Cade and Stu and Ivy and Asar and Duran and Sasser. And kind of Ron Holland too, but obviously Trajan Langdon picked him, though it was number 1 on Troy Weaver's big board. You can't really walk away with much from the process.
No, you can't.
That's crazy, bro.
And that's what's so crazy about it all. I thought that it was going to work to some degree. It did not. Go ahead, Chase.
With respect to the process, the NBA did interfere. Adam Silver came in, basically fired Sam Hinkie, and installed the Colangelos to take over that franchise. To be fair, if Sam Hinkie got to like keep control and just play out his process, things could be way different because like maybe he doesn't trade for the maybe he doesn't trade for Markelle Fultz. You know, that was kind of. I'm just saying we can hate on the process, but the NBA and Adam Silver definitely like stuck their hands in there and like muddied the waters and like fucked up their plans.
They did. I can't completely put that on the NBA. I get where you're coming from though, for sure, but I can't completely put that.
I'm
on
not
the
saying
NBA.
you can't hate the process. I'm just saying like that's the facts of the matter, and like if you're gonna hate on it, just look at the whole picture, not just one part of it.
No, for sure. But yeah, it's caveats to the process. But the fact that you had Jimmy Butler still in his prime, you had JJ Redick, y'all couldn't make that iteration of them work. Like, it was over, bro.
It was over when they picked Tobias over Jimmy Butler.
That was the Kawhi.
No, I mean, he kind of right, though. He kind of right. And that's no disrespect to Tobias.
It's not.
He is right, though.
That's just
he is
and
right.
now Tobias has a wonderful role on this Pistons team.
Yeah,
played really well last night.
Yeah,
Tobias played really well
last night.
Attaboy.
He had 20 at 5.
Attaboy.
Come on, JB.
Wait a minute, JB didn't give him credit. What?
Tim Hardaway Jr. shot like shit. Come on, man.
I know. I had him in a parlay. He didn't. But still.
Sam, what was the first thing we talked about this morning?
We talked about Tobias playing well. That's why I said JB.
Yeah. No, you got to give him respect last
night.
You absolutely.
Do. I did not think we'd get so much run out of talking about the process, but I love it. But honestly,
it needs to be studied. It's going to be a 30 for 30.
I will say this though: the biggest what if of the process was Joel Embiid's health. Yeah. I know people can clown him now and even his style of play and like the foul baiting and whatnot, but there was a time where Joel Embiid was an absolute demon when healthy.
Yeah, and then Kawhi snatched his fucking soul.
I think 76ers fans gave up on the process like 2 to 3 years ago, Kool-Aid. Come on, man. Let's be real here. If they just gave up on it 2 to 3 years ago, I feel very sad for y'all. This thing started a long time ago.
It did.
Do you know what's great, though? And this is something that just popped into my head. And I know we are going in all different directions, but I don't care.
I think it's fair because it's in contrast to the Pistons rebuild, which, listen, it started off great, and then a whole lot of doubt crept in for even the slappies of us, man. And then all of a sudden it's just, no, we were on the right path all along.
The key to everything is Cade Cunningham because we look at the Philadelphia 76ers.
Bingo.
Joel Embiid had all the talent in the world and all the production in the world when he was healthy. I mean, he won an MVP, which me and Neil will argue about. I think he deserved it. We obviously know in hindsight it didn't look great, but that's neither here nor there. He was a damn good player. He just couldn't stay on the court. We look at a team like the Rockets, and this is where I might give what might seem like a hot take, but I don't think it's a hot take. I think the Pistons advance farther in the playoffs than the Rockets do this year.
I do. That's not a hot take at all.
At the absolute worst, I think they both go out in the first round. If the Rockets have to play like the Lakers or the Golden State Warriors, it's a wrap. They're done. Because I don't like Jalen Green. I like Shane Goon. But in terms of their supplementary young players and veterans, I like ours better.
Yeah. I do too.
Dylan Brooks ain't enough.
No, Dylan Brooks, he was good last year, but this year he's kind of went back to being Dylan Brooks.
He has, man. And you know what? You see the whole makeup of their team change. Well, who's considered an all-star this year versus who it was last year. And that's where Cade Cunningham is the difference maker. I've been saying this. Rod's been saying this. A lot of us have been saying this since day one. He is the straw that stirs the drink, period. And now we're seeing that he's one of those guys that does this on the NBA level, on a star level. That's what's starting to become really, really awesome because you're seeing other stars in the NBA talk about him, like Kevin Durant. I love his game, and I'm happy for him. Remember, I told you guys, down at All-Star, you can feel that there's a little bit of heat between some players. You can. Oh, what do you think about this player? Yeah, you ain't good. Yeah, you have a good season. But when it's Cade Cunningham, you all instantly see him go, oh, yeah, Cade. Shout out to him, man.
Right.
He's having a really good season. They're winning now. James Harden did the same thing last night. It's almost like people don't want the smoke. He's just hooping. He don't care about nobody's beef. And if you step to him incorrect, he will sauce you for 30-plus points and put the dub on you this year. And it's making these stars in the league. Let me check that. It's not making them. They've been talking about Cade Cunningham since his rookie season. Kevin Durant has been DeMar DeRozan among other people, but it was just awesome to hear Ty Lue and to hear James Harden last night and to hear Kevin Durant's podcast go viral with their effusive praise of one Cade Parker Cunningham, man.
Hey, Weezy D 313, I don't give a damn what Cade has to say respectfully. Well, I do.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know where all that vitriol to Kevin Durant. But Weezy, you do dislike. The players you like and dislike are kind of strange to me sometimes, but I love you still. Right. I do care about what Kevin Durant has to say.
He put Killian's stat line in the chat, by the way.
Hey, oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, the man who doesn't care what Kevin Durant has to say, but will literally, like, if Killian Hayes has one game in which he has maybe 10 points and 8 assists, you will hear an audible groan from miles away because it's Weezy just nutted. It's weird. That's why I say weird, but that's all right, man. I do care what Cade has to say because he is one of the best players to ever play, just scored 30,000 points, but we can disagree about that.
Hey, yep, I found it here. Over 2 years ago, episode 44, The Process versus the Restoration. We did a study, and it was 30 minutes.
Let's go.
Yeah. And the restoration was not good, but that process is like, what the fuck?
But the whole thing was this. The process was all about finding star young players that you could offer the max to and trust them with it. Mm-hmm. Even though they didn't properly build around this young core, they achieved exactly what the Restore was supposed to achieve. If I'm going to tank and deal with putridness, I got to come away with a Cade and a Duran and an Ivy and an Asar. Think about how many young players they hit on versus how many the process missed on, and they had 7 years to theirs. The Pistons are 4 years, 4 drafts, bro.
Yeah.
If we take Holland out, 4 drafts.
And not the best draft positioning. Really, Cade was the only one we really was given. Like, everything else was 5th pick, 6th pick. You know, that was
or
some
Troy
bullshit.
trading back up. Remember, 2 first-round picks that he traded back in for Isaiah Stewart and Marcus Sasser.
Yeah.
It is speaking of Troy Weaver, man. Got to give him some credit.
For the draft team.
You do.
Yeah. He couldn't team build, and I guess that's why they never gave him the PBO, the full power role. But with picking those players, if I had to pick one GM or one process, I got to go with the Restore every time.
But the thing is, too, and that leads to just another thing, you also have to give Bob Quinn a little bit of credit for Taylor Decker and Frank Ragnow, and you got to give Al Avila some credit as well for some of the players that he drafted. It's funny how that works.
Al Avila get credit for Riley Green, and that's it.
Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, okay, fine. Green and Skubal, that's it.
Terrence Table. Goodness gracious, Flannel. I don't like
his
sitting at the other end of
1-1s
the
have
table.
bombed.
But
and
that's
hopefully Mize get it back, but his 1-1s have bombed.
Of
Absolutely
course.
bombed.
And that's okay, by the way, to give a little bit of credit while also loving that all of those respective franchises have the guys who they have now. And I actually think we can get another segment out of the Pistons because I've got some numbers for some of these supplemental players on what they've been doing in the month of February. And
That's right.
we're going to dissect those when we get back. But first, tell us about Dr. Pierce.
Hey, attention sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy. Every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice, so you guys got to trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, Mark White is going to get you right.
Mark White.
Going to change your life. Dream of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true. 8242.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys kicking off the day with the WUW Crew on this victory show. The Detroit Pistons are taking center stage, not just within this platform, but really everywhere. The NBA.com, they listed the Detroit Pistons as their Week 19 team to watch. And they gave them some shade, too, though. It's interesting. They have them listed 15th in their player rankings, even though in their power rankings, even though few of those teams ahead of them have worse records, but it's okay. And then in that team to watch, they said, well, sure, they're on this winning streak and they're doing this, that, and the other, but that's against no winning teams. Against winning teams, they're 8-16, blah, 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 blah. Why you got to put the shade out there like that for a team that's exceeding everybody's expectations, exceeding even NBA.com's player ranking expectations from the preseason? And now you get the Pistons at a chance, though, to change all of those narratives. And we know what Cade Cunningham has done. We talked aptly about what Ausar Thompson has done. I know you got a few more players that you want to be able to highlight from a statistical standpoint as well.
Oh, yeah, we talked about Cade. We talked extensively about Cade, as we always should. We talked a lot about Ausar Thompson, others as well. But there were a bunch of guys who stepped up last night, and it was, to me, a microcosm of a lot of what these respective players have done all season. You saw Jalen Duren with 19 rebounds last night. Absolutely love it. His second highest rebound total in a game on the season. You saw Tobias with a highly efficient 20 points. And when I was looking at some numbers this morning, the numbers that some of these guys have been putting up in the month of February have just been astounding. JB, hit it.
Oh, wait. Did you send something?
Oh, yeah. I got my Pistons numbers graphic.
Yeah,
I apologize. I didn't.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
I saw that hit the line earlier, and I was like, yeah, it's going to be he's cooking.
Oh, yeah,
he's cooking.
It's got Tobias Harris on it, so JB is
that's
protesting and refusing to flip over it.
I get what's going on now.
I just looked over it because Tobias Harris was on it.
I feel like I need to Clockwork Orange you and just hold the eyes up. Look at him.
Right.
Look at him.
Look at this.
Creepy.
Look at this.
Right. That did look creepy. So don't do that again.
But if you guys have seen Clockwork Orange, classic movie, you will understand what I'm talking about. Look at these numbers, and these are the numbers that these players are putting up in the month of February. Tobias Harris, 18 points per game, 5 rebounds per game on 58% shooting. Jalen Duren, these are points, rebounds, assists. 14, 12, and 4 on 69% shooting. Ausar Thompson, 13, 6, and 4, 2.3 steals per game on 66% shooting. And Malik Beasley, being even more hot than he was at the beginning of the year, 18 points per game on 49% from 3. And that doesn't even quantify that during this stretch and during this whole season, quite frankly, Isaiah Stewart has probably been the best pound-for-pound, minute-for-minute rim protector in the NBA. So Cade Cunningham has been otherworldly. He is an MVP candidate. I still have him third on my list. But as we've talked about before, as I said yesterday, Cade with proper help, with this being more than proper help, it's over. It's a wrap. If other players keep stepping up like this is a 4-seed team. It just is. I don't know if everybody will be able to continue this pace, but if this continues to happen, or even a slightly lesser version of which, this is a team that will get a home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs.
Do you know why I do believe they can continue this pace? because look how many names you already have up there. It's not just on one player or two players to carry everything. And we don't even have the names up there like a Dennis Schroeder, who was shown to be very well the facilitator that we need. Yeah. We don't even have Isaiah Stewart's name on there. And that's what I mean. Like, when you look at what type of contributions we're getting from top to bottom, including whether some of these guys are shooting well or having big nights or not, we're still seeing these guys go out there and be effective. I know that I can count on Tim Hardaway to at least go out there and draw a couple charges. I know I can go out there and count on Tim Hardaway to go out there and set some solid screens, whether the shot's falling or not. I also know that there's going to be some games when he's going out there and to start the game, there's been some first quarters where Tim Hardaway has been the reason why the Pistons didn't get blown out. Early in the season, Tim Hardaway's offense, he started off the season hot, and that's what this is. It's not on just one person. It's not just on Cade. As good as he is, he does help make his teammates better, but his teammates have put in that work as well, and they've also put in the work to try and become better. And so you're seeing this synergy between this team where the usage doesn't have to be across the board what it would be for some of these other teams. When I do look at Orlando, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Franz and Paolo to get it right. And when they don't, you see them struggle, period. But we've seen this Detroit Pistons team, even without Cade Cunningham this season, play some effective ball games and have opportunities, and they have won. And that's what, when you highlight this, that's the biggest takeaway. When you say, you know what, we hope, because obviously we don't know. There's nothing short of perfection. It's only going to be just short of perfection at best. But when you see how many players that they have that are contributing at this consistent level, that's what makes me encouraged about what the Pistons can do as you go into playoff hunting season. One game out of the 4 seed. You guys remember when they were sitting kind of like in that 9 seed, and I was talking crazy like, you know what? We at that 20-game mark. They're going to pass these teams. Yeah. They're going to catch these teams. They're going to get the 5th. They're going to have a chance to get the 4th. To see it happening is crazy, because sometimes I feel like UKG, man, let me try and temper this a little bit. Do I need to say? Like, there is a small inner part of me that's like, man, bro, just say 42 would be easier. But what I'm seeing right now, I get it. The conversations are uncomfortable. Cade is doing silly things. Asar is a very silly freaking player. I don't understand it. Jalen Duren is taking the leap. He's made the leap. It's just like, what do you want? Even Tobias Harris. Like, it's just like, you know what? This team has the opportunity. They've caught that rhythm. I think that they're gonna make a great stride towards that 4th seed, man.
Hey, they very well could, and that will piggyback into this super chat. Thank you. This is from Mr. My City. First Pistons trio to hit 6+ threes in a game. Tim, Malik, Cade, the new run TMC. I like that reference to those old Warriors teams back in the 90s. Cade, might be JB. Cade, most improved player. JB, coach of the year. Threesley, sixth man of the year. Pistons with the first round upset. # manifest. I'll tell you what.
Manifest it.
If they get that 4 seed, not an upset. Imagine if the Pistons are favored to win a playoff series.
But I'm starting to see that type of rhetoric being talked about amongst some of the writers and such out there. There are some headlines that are pondering, can the Pistons win a playoff series? What you're starting to see people say now is, especially because the NBA shares some of the Cade stuff, they say, bro, who wants to catch the Pistons in the first round? Nobody. That's starting to become the sentiment about the Detroit Pistons, and it's because of what they're doing. They're hustling. They're defending. They'll fight you. Like, I got a clip of JB Bickerstaff. I might have to clip this up, because last night the Clippers were doing, man, I was about to say a statement that would have been crazy to y'all. They were doing some stuff, and you could tell, like, bro, if this was like a Chappelle skit, like he just wanted to go up to him and just, I'm Rick James.
You're right.
To Ty Lue. And it was when they got a delay of game. And the whole arena started to get loud. Like, bro, delay of game. Like, yo, how are they able to do this? And someone was holding the ball on the bench while they were able to get some type of substitution in and delay what the Pistons were trying to do. And JB Bickerstaff, like, he was first yelling at the ref. Then he starts looking at Ty Lue and just goes in like, bro.
Right.
Like, when the black people get to clap in their hands, you know it's real business. Yeah. And he's looking like, what? And then Ty Lue looks at him and says something, and he's like, I pulled on my camera like, oh,
right, it's going down.
Energy on the sideline.
JB finna get ejected.
It's crazy, dog. Like, they're playing no games right now. And that's the same energy he takes to this team. They won a game, and he said, what is this?
Yeah.
I care about this. They didn't play to the standard. And it's just like, okay.
It's
watch
real.
out rest of the league, man. I love it.
Watch out, rest of the league, man. I love that we can get so much run out of Pistons.
I'm pumped up right now.
Yes.
And everybody is engaged. And we actually just got another super chat from Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer. Still don't like your name, but I like what you do in this chat. We will beat the Knicks if we play them. Mark it. Hey, I would love to see it. Although I think that the Pistons might play themselves out of playing the Knicks in the first round, because I think in order to get the Knicks, they'll have to get the 6th seed, because I think the Knicks, it's pretty safe to say they'll hold on to at least a top 3.
Yeah.
I believe that too, man. What up, though, KG?
No, y'all hitting on everything. The only thing I think you can maybe say against the Pistons at this point is that they haven't played a lot of teams at full strength. A lot of teams have sat some of their starters, and we've played a lot of teams that have dealt with injuries. So you wonder, what they will look like in a 7-game series when they're playing all star power. But I think this Pistons team is a problem. I think nobody really wants to see them in the playoffs because they're going to give you hell. And I think they can take anybody to 7 easy. So, and y'all already know I predicted a 7-game series win for the Pistons in the playoffs. So.
And, man, that's what's so huge about this Schroeder pickup, man. Like, Cade being able to get successful rests and the facilitation doesn't fall off a cliff has been – it's been an awesome thing to see. And it's not just with Schroeder's doing, but some of these other people. And the playoffs, man, it's going to be an epic time. I'm going to just keep talking about it like they're talking about it. Duran has talked about it. Cade's talking about it. All of them are talking about it. Like, this is what we are. And I'm glad that they're not waiting. Like, J.B. Bickerstaff and these vets, from what I gather, they are trying to instill what it means to be a playoff-minded team, even though these young players have never been in this situation before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you see them being able to adapt.
That's what's going to make them dangerous in the long run, because they don't not what they do at this point. Hey, the Pistons going out there, they playing free. They not tight about anything. They're just going out there playing their best basketball, and that's going to benefit them in the playoffs.
Yeah, and you did mention something about some depleted teams, and I understand that. You had the Clippers last night with no Norman Powell, no Kawhi Leonard, although no Kawhi Leonard at this stage isn't the no Kawhi Leonard what it used to be. You had the Spurs with no Wemby, but that's just such as life in the NBA. Sometimes you got to win the battle of attrition. In the modern days, players don't usually play 82 games. And in the case of a guy like Victor Wembanyama, he happened to suffer something that was unforeseen and not catastrophic, but it's going to cost him the rest of the season. Winning those games and continuing to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat, take advantage of the fact that they're missing some guys. It's what's going to put you as the Pistons, I'm talking you as the Pistons, in the dance, in good positioning to where they get certain advantages like home court. And as they continue to gain these wins and gain confidence when they do face a team that has all their players, like maybe the Celtics on Wednesday, we'll see what happens. And by the way, even though we forget about him, Jaden Ivey's their second leading scorer. Still. So it's not like the Pistons don't have all of their horses either.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to say something about this. Weezy D through and through. We have played a lot of depleted bums. And I'm seeing, in Jesse Adams, they have played some bad teams over this stretch, but who cares? You got to beat up those bad teams. They need to win before they need these wins before the next stretch of games versus the good teams. Kool-Aid and
and let me clarify. I'm not saying that's the only reason the Pistons are having success. It's just something I'm bringing up. That's all.
Let me bring something up too. What's the Pistons record right now?
31 and 26.
30. Is it 31 or 32?
Oh, is it 32?
Oh, yeah, 32.
32 and what? 26?
Yeah,
26. They started the season what?
0-4.
Yeah.
So this team is 32 and 22 since then. This is not about a stretch anymore.
Yeah.
This is who they are. They're one of the best teams in the NBA. Period. That's what they're proving. And that first 0-4, they had chances to win all of those. They gave games away in that first 0-4 stretch. That's the biggest takeaway here. Think about if you're sitting here right now talking about a team that got 34 wins. If they just split that open.
Yeah. I'm still not over Ron Holland missing those 2 free throws against Milwaukee.
That's what I'm talking about. They've blown.
Tobias blew a game too like that.
After the 0-4 stretch, they blew several games like that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like depleted bums and this and the other. What do you think the Pistons are?
Right.
Are they the world beaters with multiple All-Stars?
No.
Are they the team that has multiple MVP candidates on it?
No.
Multiple All-NBA candidates on it? No, they're the team that has Cade Cunningham, a bunch of people who nobody wanted in the offseason. The Bucks let Beasley walk. What the The
Yeah.
heck?
Oh shit!
The
Kool-Aid almost
Plus two.
Y'all almost got Kool-Aid out of character.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like for Pistons fans to be like, we ain't playing nobody. What do you think the Pistons are then? That's what I'm trying to
I wouldn't
exactly
say
get.
they haven't played anybody. All I'm saying is that they have played some depleted.
I know you're not
no.
saying. I'm saying the
Yeah.
people who believe that they're playing depleted bums. You do want to see them in these narrative games against teams like the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets. Go out there and acquit yourself well. They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
And we've seen examples. Look how they played the Knicks. They played the Knicks at practically full strength, and you saw what happened. So
they beat them twice.
Yeah, exactly. In the Garden. So, you are encouraged by some of the things you are seeing, and I think they'll be good come playoff time. But you just wonder. That's all.
And what you said was reasonable, how people took it in the chat. Maybe took it a little bit too far. and I think Kool-Aid, that's what you're referring to. And we actually... you guys have been absolute rock stars
shout out to y'all, man.
in the chat.
Giveaways.
We can do 2 if you want to.
Is that the amount we're at right now?
We're over the amount that we were
the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
So we got at least
got another 20
we're
in
way
there.
over them.
Oh, we do. All right, so
read these super chats off, JB.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'll
and during the
definitely read
break,
these
we'll
off.
tally it and we'll see what giveaways we're doing on the other side of the break.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me read these off for you guys. Shout out to you guys. Thank you once again for sending in all these super chats. $10 from Burn. The going to work Pistons crowd is buying in. I keep meeting people at the games who say they left at the end of going to work and have been hearing the rumors the Pistons are back.
Damn
we
right.
need to come up with a new name for this era of Pistons as well too.
They do deserve a nickname at this point.
They really do. Shout out to Mr. My City sending in $5 as well. The fans showed up last night. Really nice crowd at LCA for the Clippers game. It's nice to see the city starting to get behind these guys. # sell out LCA.
Damn right.
Man, it was a good environment last
And
night.
It was
the
rocking.
big one, $20 from IT Hips. He says JB Bickerstaff is the best coach since Larry Brown. Also, when in Vegas, make sure to avoid the slot machines on the strip unless you want to throw away your money.
That's only Flannel. We
Yeah,
gotta tell
that
Flannel.
might just be
Flannel.
Flannel ain't never been, so
We're going there for business, man.
I was wondering why you singled me out. I'm good with my money. I'm cheapest. I don't even like buying a lunch at Speedway. That's why I get the dollar cookies. I don't spend money.
I've walked past that media cafe for a couple years now, just like, we're going to have a show there. And now we got our best chance to be able to do that this year and to be able to have some fun. And that's where I'm just like, let's rock, because this year is going to be players like Ron Holland and Bobby Clintman that are featured on that Summer League team. That's going to be a fun one to cover.
And let's be honest, I'll probably be the one out there like 4 or 5 a.m. just at the slot machines, just keep going.
Hey, me and you, JB, I'm going to be at the sports book.
Bro,
what up with it?
They got it right off the plane.
Oh, I get active in Vegas at night.
As soon as you get off
active.
the plane, bro, you're just sitting there. All the machines are staring at you like,
Yeah.
goodness gracious. I guess I'll sit over there, huh?
Nah, it's a good time, man. I'm going to be doing some walking around with a certain, paraphernalia. If you catch my drift.
$24.99 over there. Just you got that wry smile on your face.
Oh, man. No, it's not $24.99, though,
Get us to Vegas.
KG,
it's
just
about
don't spend,
54 for an eighth, That's the type of time I'm on. But
KG, just don't spend $200 on a photo like one of our friends did.
Oh, never that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got to call.
I walk right off on them people.
Come on, see what up, man. Your faces look so enlightened.
I'm not incriminating myself. I plead the fifth. 4, 5, 5.
Can you say fifth?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care what you say. Fifth.
Go this skit.
Dog, I love the WUW Crew, man. I love you too, chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. What do we talk about next, man? Pistons have just taken over the entire show. 7-game winning streak will do that, huh?
Absolutely, and I love it. The Red Wings made a trade.
They did.
Oh, yeah.
The Red Wings made a trade.
Yes.
A trade that I think will please a lot of people in the city.
We are going to talk about it.
I'm ready to hear you guys cook, man. I am. Let's rock. Let's get into that next segment.
Tell us about Jars.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Jars. Shout out to everyone showing up for the Jars Rail Jam at the Utica parking lot. It was really fun. If you haven't gone back and taken a look at some of the footage and some of the stuff that we've been dropping on socials, we'd had an amazing time out there. Also, visit a Jars location near you as well, too. They are dropping some new things as well. They got the Cheech and Chong pre-rolls. They also got some new gummies that are infused with rosin that are specific flavors. So once they sell out of these, they will start back again with a whole new batch, different flavor. It was really interesting to talk to some of the vendors out there as well too. Jars Cannabis, check them out today. They got everything you need to get high.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network. Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Mize Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
It's the Les Stanford Sign and Drive sale. Get a 2024 Envision for only $239 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $249 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $789 per month. $0 security deposit, $0 due at signing, $0 first payment, $0 acquisition fee. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory at the Sign and Drive sale. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
Hey, you know what? Another team that is in the middle of a playoff push. They moved up a little bit in the standings. They did a thing yesterday. You know what? The Detroit Red Wings and Steve Yzerman, they choose not to stand pat, and I do wonder what any of the corresponding moves may be. But they do trade goaltender Ville Husso. How you feeling about this? You already know.
Go ahead. Floor's yours.
Take it away.
I don't know how you can ever hate on Steve Yzerman. Man's a god.
That's a fact.
You look like you about to have one single tear roll down your face.
Oh, dude, none of us believed it. I was listening to the Heavies last night when they broke the news right as the show was ending, and we were all kind of just like, is this real? Like,
yeah.
But Spenny confirmed it. ESPN like an hour later. I mean, as if it wasn't a good enough weekend already.
Yeah. You traded a man that had no value. How the hell did you do that?
Future considerations, which I don't care if it's a bag of chips.
Wait, he didn't even get traded for cash considerations?
It just said future considerations.
Wow.
Future consideration.
That's a new level.
No, Ville Husso was radioactive on this team. He just was. He's the highest paid goaltender, or was the highest paid goaltender. God, that I get to use that in past tense makes me so happy. But let's call a spade. For the Detroit Red Wings, particularly for the last couple of seasons, I know he had some injuries, but even as a whole, he was a bum. He was a bum goaltender. He was one of Steve Yzerman's worst signings, which Steve Yzerman did clean up, by the way. Credit to him. I can see why he did it, because Ville Husso, believe it or not, he was very good during his time with the Blues, but with the Red Wings, it just never worked out. And it didn't hurt the Red Wings too much, because they were able to get guys in the last couple of years who were better. It's funny, Chase, that I'm going to have to use these words. Shout out James Reimer. I know we don't feel too happy about him, but he played a role in saving the Red Wings from Ville Husso. Alex Lyon as well, Cam Talbot. It's just, I don't know how any team in the NHL took Ville Husso in this bad contract. I know it's expiring. I know they're the Ducks, and they're just they're in that rebuild stage where they can do something like this and be willy-nilly about it. But the fact that they helped Steve Yzerman get this off the books is what kind of wizardry did Steve Yzerman pull? That's what I wonder.
Yeah, and that's why I want to know, so this is one of those situations where you're looking at this as simply addition by subtraction for right now. Make sure that this mojo, which we knew last year, coming down the playoff stretch, there was just some bad mojo going on here with the Detroit Red Wings, a priority patch, Dylan Larkin, and losing that lead. Going on, what was it, a 7-game losing streak, effectively? It was terrible. Yeah. And I do believe, so that's why I asked you guys with this one, because I know that there's some people who are wondering what proactive moves they're going to do or make to bring people in. And a lot of people think they might stand pat. But at least with this one, is this one of those addition by subtractions?
Oh, yeah. It's addition by subtraction. It opens things up a bit because the man was a $4.75 million cap hit and was doing nothing. He wasn't in the goaltender rotation. When he played, he was awful. It was the same thing last year. He had no value on this team. He was, like I said, Steve Yzerman, he has a couple of black marks, I would say, none bigger than Ville Husso, but as I said before, he was able to right that wrong, even if it comes a little bit later than you'd like. But as I said before, Ville Husso, I don't think he as an individual really cost the Red Wings that much, except for money and just him being bad. But we've got Justin on the line, right?
Yes, we got Justin on the line.
Other member of Woodward Wings.
Hey!
What up, brother?
Justin!
What up, though, man? Hey, listen, Justin, you already know we're doing great, man, and it gets even better when we get to have more of the WUW Crew on. That dude, Justin, the other component, alongside Flannel Sam of Woodward Wings. Shout out to you guys and the content that you're doing. The coverage that you're bringing to it. I'm excited for Woodward Wings goes. But I know this is something that you're excited about. He hit me up right away last night like, Kool-Aid, can I please jump on the show tomorrow to talk about this? Obviously, man, you're always welcome, especially with the Wings content. Just what's your first reaction and takeaway with the Ville Husso trade?
Well, honestly, in a similar way as when we farted a lot, I'm hooting and hollering. I mean, come on. I've never been a fan of Ville Husso ever. He has always been very mid and very streaky, and then this year he took a fall off the face of the earth. Couldn't even support 9 point or even close to when he was playing this year. I'm glad to see he was gone, and it opens up the cap space. I think we retained $1.2 million of that cap from this trade, and then we have now $3.4 million in additional cap space to use in. Hopefully this is more of just a flexibility move that leads to something bigger on Friday as we near the trade deadline.
I was about to say, Justin, do you think this move makes it more likely that the Red Wings make some level of a splash, or that this has no impact?
I think it has an impact. I think that this tells me that they're going to be looking for something. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, there's still been buzz about, Cousins from Buffalo, and the Red Wings said they're not willing to give up Casper or Edvinsson, which of course they're not. And it just puts them in a position now where if they do find that right package, because Steve Yzerman's not going to do something that isn't calculated in for the overall benefit of the team. And I would be very intrigued if there's a veteran defenseman who's on a one-year contract that can help you make the playoffs this year. If Steve Yzerman's willing to give up some of the draft capital that maybe he got from the Wallman trade, maybe part ways from Tarasenko to get it. Or it might be a play just to retain a bad contract for a one-year deal to get Tarasenko off the books to have more cap space in the offseason. Obviously, no one can get into Steve Yzerman's head, but those are the two possible ways that he could be using this cap space. He didn't just get rid of Ville Husso's contract for no reason, because he could have just waited to the offseason to do that and kept Ville Husso and GR.
Chase?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that just in regards to something that Steve Yzerman could do, the moving Ville Husso's contract, and also Andrew Kopp got placed on IR too, so there's that roster spot that they could potentially play with as well, along with the free cap space. So I like the idea of possibly bringing in a veteran defenseman with a expiring contract. Should be about $5 or so million at least to play with in regards to the money that's coming off the books with the Husso contract. So Just something else I don't think we've talked about too in the Husso getting moved. Andrew Kopp also got placed on IR, and there's no current timeline for his return, but it looks like it could be a little bit longer than expected.
Yeah, that also might play a factor down the stretch as well. If they are feeling like they are too weak on the offensive end and they don't have another really nice prospect to bring up because Danielson isn't ready, and neither is a lot of the other prospects down there, in my opinion. So if they're really trying to make sure that they can, because they're also going to lose some key offensive pieces this offseason and that are depth pieces. I believe Rasmussen's contract's up. Vallejo's contract's up. So if they might be looking to bring in a bridge guy on the front end to maybe have another 1-year deal, but everything that they go for will be short-term contracts, nothing that they're going to be committed to, because they're going to go into this offseason guns a-blazing. They have the 11th most cap space in the NHL, and they are going to put themselves in a position to win multiple playoff series next year.
You know, Justin, now that I got you here, I have to ask you about what happened this past weekend at LCA. It was certainly a mixed bag. They got 3 out of a possible 4 points, but it's not quite that simple. What was your take on the weekend? Was it a good weekend for the Red Wings, or are you looking at it more from it being a missed opportunity?
I got to go with a good weekend just because they were able to secure 3 out of 4 points, big points, keeping them 2 points up in the wild card standings. That they had that game in hand against Anaheim. That was a must-win game. You remember last year they lost that game to the Coyotes. It sent us into a tailspin. It gave up our lead in the wild card, and then it ended up costing us in the end of the season. This Anaheim game was the easiest game on the rest of your schedule, and you had to win it. You had to take control of the wild card standings, and they did. The lead blowing is definitely slightly concerning. The way that they have been giving up goals in the last 5 minutes of the game is concerning. The goaltending has not been up to par for how it's been the last 2-3 weeks. So you're going to need Lyon and Talbot to not give up those softies. I'm not expecting them to be, Sorokin or Hellebuck or any of those guys. I'm just expecting them to not let in the softies. If they don't let in the softies, they have a great chance to still make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs if they continue to play at even. I mean, we talked about this. The tandem just has to be at a B level for this team to make the playoffs. And if they can stay consistent, stay around that 9-point save percentage, around 2.5 goals a game, because they're so much better when they're able to score 3 goals a game. So I think that they are going to have to find a way to button down the defense, and I think the big piece of that is Andrew Kopp being hurt.
Yeah, that's kind of went a little under the radar, and I know you, Justin, from doing a pod with you, that you're higher on Andrew Kopp than even the average Red Wing fan, and you understand his value. You infinitely understand his value. But speaking of value, Patrick Kane, man, saving the day for the Ducks.
Showtime.
And it just seems like, and it doesn't just seem like it. I've crunched the numbers. Patrick Kane, when it comes to game-winning overtime goals and games ended with him scoring in the shootout, he's been that guy that just comes through during those moments. How important has he been ever since he's gotten to Detroit, just with him rising to the occasion in big moments?
Massive. You can't calculate how important it is to have a killer on your team. Someone who, in the biggest moments, in the biggest spots, will go out there and will win you a game if they have the opportunity to. Whenever Patrick Kane gets the puck on his stick in overtime with an opening, whether it's a breakaway or just some open space to shoot, I know he's going to score. I am confident he's going to score. He's confident he's going to score. I watched him walk down on the breakaway. I stood up from my seat, and I knew he was going to score. I didn't care what move he did. And that's who Patrick Kane is. He is Showtime. He is an elite sniper. And I was having this debate the other day with one of my roommates that if we're in overtime and the puck has to go on someone's stick, Patrick Kane or Austin Matthews, give me Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane has the history of scoring the big goals, the game-clinching goals, the Stanley Cup goals. I've never seen Austin Matthews do that. There's 0-7 in playoff series in elimination games for a reason. No, he's just not built like that, and Patrick Kane is, and that's what Patrick Kane is. And I think that as you see Larkin improve as a goal scorer, you see Raymond improve as a goal scorer, because at one point one of those two is going to have to become your goal killer. But for now, Patrick Kane is your goal killer, and he is doing an amazing job. And it's showtime, baby. Come on.
It is showtime, and people forget, and I know you were just a young lad when this happened, the first Blackhawks Stanley Cup that they won with Patrick Kane was clinched on a Patrick Kane goal, and I actually crunched the numbers that in the last couple of years since Patrick Kane started the season with the Red Wings, 9 game-winning goals, either in overtime or him ending it with his shot in the shootout. And as a hockey fan, not just a Red Wings fan, it's just amazing to see him have that second life on the Red Wings. I know he's not what he once was. He's arguably the best American-born player ever. But even as a veteran, him having this kind of a value on a team that is still young, that still needs to build towards where they're going to go, it crystallizes in a game like that where the Red Wings were in danger of disaster. Patrick Kane saves the day. It's not Larkin. It's not Raymond. With all due respect to them, it's old man Patrick Kane.
Yeah, and it just proves that he's got more in the tank. I believe that he might be coming back next year just because he loves it so much, and he looks like he could play for another year, especially like the rejuvenation he's seen with McClellan out at the helm. I think that that's definitely a possibility. And who doesn't love Patrick Kane? I mean, he looks like he's loving the game. He's having fun. When he scores, he's, giving the crowd the little, let me hear you. And he's just showtime. I mean, there's no other way to describe him that he's just showtime. He's must-see TV every single time he steps on the ice, even at this age.
Absolutely. And Justin, thanks for coming on. You have an open invitation, as you should know. And me and Justin, we are recording Woodward Wings. We're dropping every single Friday. We have 7 episodes already uploaded to YouTube for a membership tier. And we also have them uploaded in podcast form as well. And Justin was nice enough, not nice enough. But the point is that he is making up clips as well for Twitter that have been viewed by thousands. So I appreciate you for that. So Woodward Wings to the moon, best wings coverage in the city.
You damn right. Let them know, Sam. Best wings coverage in the fucking city.
Hey, I'm a humble guy, but I got Justin on my team. I'm only as good as the people around me. But thank you again, and we will see you next time, and I will see you Friday, if not sooner.
Keep crushing, y'all.
Thank you, WUW Crew. Much love. I love you all. Hey, shout out to the chat. You guys are what makes this thing go. I appreciate you. If you guys didn't enjoy my content as much as you guys do, I wouldn't have the open invitation. So thank you guys, and thank you, WUW Crew. Love you. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Big dog.
Hey, man, what a segment. I love when they get to talking hockey, especially with Justin, Cavassier Chase, and Flannel Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because you guys have such a grasp and understanding of the team, and you're also able to very well kind of foundationally set your own points and your own perspectives too. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the Red Wings too. Shout out to the Pistons. Just shout out to Detroit sports right now.
Shout out to Detroit sports and Justin Station. It's called Woodward Wings, and WeezyD313. Where's Woodward Ringside? It's
on the channel too.
It's on the channel too.
It's for members.
For members, yes.
It is bonus content for now to make sure that our guys who are putting in this work can be supported as well. I know some people, they say, what are some ways that you can directly support? When you get those memberships and you start to watch that content, comment on it and like it, it helps these guys tremendously. And what we're going to make sure is that all the audio as well, if you're looking for a non-member option, is on the podcast as well. If you want the videos, if you want to see some of the editing that they're doing, because I'll just speak to it, these guys are doing a lot of their own. So for a lot of our stuff, we have a machine that does a lot behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But for this bonus content, it's literally the faces you see at the desk are doing probably at least 85% of the work, if not 100% of it. And so I applaud them for what they're doing, to take the time to not just be here on these shows and be prepared for this, but to be prepared for all of the other content as well. And it is truly a treat for our members on the channel. I implore you, definitely go and tap in, put the likes on it.
Yeah.
Within that playlist, make sure you bookmark it and save it to your other playlists, because these guys are putting in the work. They're doing boots on the ground I know we got some stuff that we're trying to plan with the Red Wings right now as well. So it's gonna be epic stuff.
And Phil, life ain't free, big dog. Like, I'm sorry, man. I see you in the chat try to hate. We do release free content as well. We will be clipping up some of the episodes and releasing them for free.
Yep,
I think our last
Woodward
ringside episode was a free ski. So if it's still up, definitely go check that out. But come on, Phil. Come on with that, dog.
And there's going to be a lot of content that comes directly from that. But this is specifically made content in which, let's be honest, you guys are creating this, effectively, with the hopes of just labor of love for the people.
Yeah, but we still keep the fans in mind. We do release free things as well because we understand not everybody either can afford the membership or want the membership.
Podcast form is free. If you want the audio that is free, you can find these podcasts, this new content, and I love the fact that we're going to be instituting some live streams for each of these new pods, our major pods that are covering some of the more niche markets like Red Wings specifically, Woodward Pistons. We're bringing the table talks to it. You'll be able to interact directly with your hosts as well. So shout out to you guys for the support. I do see that there's some support on this content, and I'm grateful for the chat family that does support. Including the ones that sent in these super chats. Do we have anything to clean up besides maybe after what's trending? We'll get into these giveaways.
Nope, nothing to clean up right now.
All right. Wait. Well, what friends we got to say?
We're about to do some tallying up in the break because you guys have come through today. You guys have come through today.
You guys came through today. Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They still got their football deal that they're going on. That's going on after football as well too. The signature wings, as you can see up on screen, 7 different flavors. They all are delicious. I'm telling you right now. Stop by a Soroki's today. If you don't have any time to stop by in store, you can always order online for some lunch, some dinner at Sorokis.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Man, I see the love in the chat from the people, man, and I'm telling you, I needed it on a day like today. The behind-the-scenes stuff that we do, this is like 24/6 for me because I rest on Sabbath, but this thing is like around the clock for us.
Yeah.
It just is what it is, and to see the support, to see you guys hitting these goals, to see you guys saying, you know what, yeah, we want to support the content, that type of stuff goes a long way. It does spur us some more. I remember you and I were looking at each other yesterday like, we're locked in, man. We're locked in. This is what we want to do. We're going to try and bust every door down and get what we believe we deserve.
Yeah.
But we're not going to allow that to come at a compromise of the work that we're going to do, even above what we're contracted to do.
Yeah.
So
it's just the real.
That's the real. That's
we
as
love
much
y'all.
as I'll put out there.
Right. Trust me, we love y'all, and we go the extra mile for y'all if we can do so.
Oh yes,
absolutely.
We love most of you.
Let's get to everybody's favorite free segment. What's trending?
Right.
Let's spark up word to charge, JB Smooth.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Mr. Jeremy. Jeremy.
What's going on, chat family? What's up, fellas? Hey, I got a couple videos for you guys. I don't know who is cleaning these windows at all these airport places, but I just know for sure I need whatever it is that they're cleaning them with, because y'all keep walking through these windows like it's just nothing.
Like
apparently.
birds.
That's actually an issue.
Oh, whoa, dog!
Like, come on, man.
Hell yeah.
You gotta
The
pay
door's
attention.
right
Wait,
there.
what? Like, why?
Like, that's not.
About the birds thing, KG, that's actually a big issue and like a big health problem for birds. So if they have like stickers and stuff you can put on your window.
Really?
Yeah, if you go to the zoo, you'll see them on the glass and
little
stuff.
dots.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah,
They can't tell at all, and like they'll literally fly right into it, kill them, like seriously injure them.
So all these people birds, they just can't see what
Yeah,
they're doing?
well, humans have bird-like behavior sometimes.
I guess so. I guess so. This is just unreal, but man, this next video, I don't think I need to explain this. Just know that it doesn't even start off well for this guy.
Oh, no, bro.
Why?
No, bro. Smack.
What are you doing?
No!
What the?
Why?
F are you doing, bro? You have a perfectly good workout if you just
can
use
just
the
start
machine
small.
properly.
Yes,
Man.
dog. Everybody be trying to do extra shit in the gym.
And you recording yourself.
Trying
Like,
to show out. Trying
what
to
in
show
the
out for
world?
Shorty, bro. Like, it's okay, dog. Like,
I'm sorry. I hope he is really okay. But it is hilarious how he throws down
Yeah.
the hand things.
people
like,
got to stop being so prideful in the gym, man. Listen, if you can't do some shit, it's okay. That's
Look
why
at-
you're
Hey,
in the
I mean,
gym.
I don't-
the guy
That's
tosses
why
him
you're
down
there.
like it was gonna like bring him back the other way though.
You don't need to be a tough guy in the gym. Like, this is just you being a tough guy, and it backfired.
Go ahead, Chase.
I was he's a tough guy in training. I don't think he's
Tough
been.
guy in training.
I don't think he's been in that gym too much.
A TGT.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him being in there. But
There's
that
a lot
ain't
of
the way
Yeah,
he's in there.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. He's on step 2, maybe.
He skipped steps 4
That's
through
the
6,
thing,
though. It's
though,
like, come
man.
on, man.
Use the machine properly.
Yeah, just come on, man.
And ask questions if you don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, don't be too prideful in the gym. That's a great.
Shout out Freddie Feldman.
That is an epidemic.
He's going down. I'm yelling timber.
I'm yelling.
Yeah. Brad Hendricks, you ain't shit either. Too fat, too furious. I'm too fat for y'all. No, I'm sorry.
Hey, join the 3.31 Club on Facebook.
Yeah, y'all do that.
shout out.
So support my boy Chase, man.
Shout out.
Y'all better follow, man.
Definitely give it a follow. And finally, I will end what's trending with this because, bro, I think your Saturday night is over with.
Oh,
no!
Another TGT. Another tough guy in training.
Saturday
This is
over.
one where it's like, you know what? If I'm one of the friends, you ain't on this one. I usually say get better friends.
First of all, if you need a running start for the punch machine, your shit gonna register low, big dog. Like, you just gotta accept it. Who needs a running start for the punch machine?
Dude jumps
You
like
just
that,
you
dog.
just rear back. Like, yeah,
He
dog.
jumps
Like,
the way he jumps though. Like, that's hilarious.
once again, tough guy in training, bro. Just accept your little 400 score. Nobody's gonna judge you. Your friends might talk shit
that's
for
the
5
thing.
minutes and
Like-
just let it go.
Like, with all due respect to this guy, I am by no means like big, tough, strong guy, but put some testosterone into that punch. Don't just go like,
He tried. That's why he had a running start. Like, why do you need a running start?
Look at the flabbergasted on his
just-
face.
His
Look
friend
at him
with
at
his
the end
hand
here,
over
dog.
his head.
that's the best part. It's already embarrassing enough to punch, but then he just like slowly
Turns around and everyone pans into view. It's like,
Oh,
everyone just
shit.
saw me do this.
Oh, shit. I know the owner of that bar mad as hell.
Like, you don't have to pay for all this shit.
Right. Knocking over my damn claw machine.
Oh, bro, those duck machines go crazy. There's a place up in Mount Pleasant, and people will spend like $50 on that claw machine on a Thursday night.
Jesus.
I wonder if
Shout out
that's
to
the
Bird.
I wonder if that's the girl he's with that's laughing and cackling like
Yeah,
that.
probably.
In the background. Someone in there's letting them know you have no shot, bro.
Take some boxing lessons, big dog. Gotta stay on your feet if you're gonna throw a punch like that.
Damn. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop in some mailbag while we got some time left.
Goodness gracious. You know what? shout out to Feldman Automotive Group. Hey, and before we get to the mailbag, let's do these giveaways real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have a list of the super chat people? They are going to be eligible for a T-shirt. If we've reached the double goal, then we'll have 2 giveaways. The second one will be.
I got them all pulled up.
Huh?
So I got them all pulled up.
Dope.
Oh yeah.
Dope. Hey, y'all better start wooing Chase and JB Smooth in the chat straight up because we got a giveaway. Is it 1 or 2?
It's definitely gonna be 2.
It's definitely gotta be 2.
Give them 2,
We'll
man.
have 2, right?
Get the people 2.
All right. So the first one will be a T-shirt from the merch store. So definitely, we're gonna make sure. I don't know how you guys want to handle it between Kavasi, Chase, and JB Smooth. Let's pick a winner, man.
Chase, you can pick a winner, man.
Just pick somebody?
Yeah. Anyway,
the power is in your hands, Chase GPT.
All right. I'm going to go with looking over all of the people in the chat. Just roll my eyes and scroll. All right. It landed on Burn.
Hey!
So Burn, congratulations, Burn. I landed on the going to work crowd is buying in. That was the chat that won it. So.
Hey, you know what, Burn? Email me, kool-aid@woodwardsports.com. Email me, kool-aid@woodwardsports.com. The second one will be for a signed Darren McCarty puck. Now, the thing here is this. If you can't get here to pick up the puck, we will turn it into a merch deal for you. But if you can get here, we'll definitely be able to get you the puck. You get a picture with Darren McCarty if you come during that slow shot. Yeah. You get the meet and greet and everything. That is a stipulation with the hockey puck. But you will get something. So let's get that second giveaway going. Jay, and you got that drum roll again?
Yeah, we do. And Burn, you can come in today, bro. Just get with Kool-Aid. We can organize that. Go ahead.
Chase?
Huh?
Second pick?
Oh, I picked both?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought JB was sorry. I was typing back to Jesse Adams. He's talking about the bird. Second. Let me pull it back up. All right.
You ain't going to get too many more drum rolls.
All right. I'm going to go with Sam's favorite, Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer.
He's good in the chat. It's just, it makes a... See, I don't want to think about that act with those noises. It's a beautiful act.
Where'd you get that drop,
It's a beautiful act, especially when it's wet. That's all I'm saying. Sam like a little dry mouth, but to each his own.
Tell her
to put an ice cube in her mouth.
Some people like sandpaper.
Oppenheimer, is he local?
I don't know.
Does he want merch? We'll
Robert, are you local?
Because I know Burn is potentially local.
Yeah.
So depending on how it shakes out, one will get the puck, one will get a shirt, or everyone can get a shirt. So each of you email me, kool-aid@woodwardsports.com. As it currently sits, it is Burn for the T-shirt and Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer for a signed Darren McCarty puck. Let's rock, man.
Yeah, let's do
Shout
it.
out to you guys. And I'm telling you, keep this up for the other shows, too. Each show has at minimum $50 goal set, and it all goes towards supporting your cast and your crew and some of the endeavors that we have, like for WUW Crew. Get the WUW Crew to Vegas.
Yep.
Yes.
Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer said that he is not local.
Yeah, he's in Lansing right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm from Jackson, so I mean, maybe I can make my way over there or something like that. We can find somewhere in the middle we can meet.
Making his way
Yeah,
down.
it'll be his decision if he wants the puck or the merch. If he picks the merch, then Burn will have.
Yeah,
a decision
I think I got to go to Jackson this weekend to see my dad. So we let him know in the chat. We'll figure it out.
So let's rock. Let's
Oh,
rock.
yeah.
Yep, you guys email me. Oh, can I get that pinned? What,
Yeah, you
email?
want to know.
All
You
right,
can
yeah.
pin the email.
I'll definitely do that. And you know what? If you guys see a couple Feldman questions in there, if you don't mind doing the Feldman questions while I do this, I see a couple in there before we shut down.
All right. Jay Hart at Feldman Mailbag. Unfortunately for Chase and JB, Tobias will retire a Piston.
Damn it.
But that doesn't mean we won't get that stretch for y'all want, LOL. But thoughts on Tobias retiring here? Wow, that's a...
Shit, if he keep playing like this, you could be a Piston the rest of your life, bro.
Absolutely.
That's how I'm sitting. But
I'm fine with him retiring as a Pistons. Just the name's not going up in the rafters. I'm sorry.
Well, clearly,
No, it's not.
Although he did do 2 tours with the team, but still,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's obviously not going to the rafters. But
Yeah.
hey, progress, JB.
Right.
Progress.
Progress. I'm getting there.
he can retire a Piston.
I thought he was going to say just retire tomorrow.
Right.
But hey, you didn't.
Joel
So a shout out. Oh, Shad 216 usually messing with me, but this time
I
he
see
directs
this
his
one.
ire when the Pistons hit 43 wins. Should KG just come out and admit that he's the Lions DC.
I'm not. Listen, man, I'm never up here telling lies, bro. If I was Kelvin Shepherd, you guys would know. So
you're not lying when you hate on the Pistons and when you think they're only going to get 42 wins? You're not lying about that?
Listen, we will address this tomorrow because I've had a week to sit and ponder on y'all hate. And yes, y'all hate. And tomorrow we will address this. We will rectify this.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it was your opinion. I'm not mad at it. I've given you a little bit of grief.
No, you was bad.
I
was teasing me all motherfucking week.
I was, but I'm done with that now.
I'm just saying, we don't see KG and Kelvin Shepherd in the same room together. So,
and 42 is a beautiful number. It was Jackie Robinson's number. God damn it, leave me alone.
I got one more here from Randall Smalls.
I saw.
And then we got to break this thing down. Feldman Mailbag. When y'all go to Vegas, can you set up meet and greet with the fans? Yes.
Yeah,
that is our number one thing. It's content and fans. That's what we want. What up, dog? Flannel.
It's just kind of wild that the term meet and greet and Flannel Sam is even in the same sentence. Not this isn't like a self-deprecating thing. It's just one of those can't believe this is my life sort of thing. But yes, absolutely, I know.
Man, that'd be epic. That's what this is all about, man. If there are any fans that can get down to the area, whether you get tickets to the game or not, we will definitely make sure that we include you guys in the content. We'll make sure we include you guys in the fun. Hey, like we said, you guys are a part of this family, and it means a lot. We're not just saying that. I promise you guys. So, is that a show?
Yes.
This was a good show.
It was.
Yeah. Hey. It was.
Phil, don't nobody hate you, man. You part of the crew. You just be tripping sometimes.
Yeah, that's the crew.
Don't nobody hate you.
Keep us on our toes.
You're right. We love you, Phil. Damn, is that what you want to hear? We love you, man.
Tolerate occasionally.
And that means a lot. Shout out to Stick who just walked in. What up, though, brother? I love the hat, Stick. Love it.
Go Pistons. They're
doing
well.
They're doing good, man. They're doing good.
40 wins. Y'all call me crazy.
Someone said 42.
And I got crucified. He said 40.
Well, that was at the beginning of the season, though. None of us picked as high as Stick at the beginning of the year. All of us.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming.
True. That is true. I think we all believed at least play in, but there was some pretty bullish people here.
Yeah, like how I said 35 when nobody else did. Nobody else said 35 but me. And Spitty put money on it.
40 is higher than 35.
It's like, but I said 40.
Yeah, you did say 40.
Y'all laughed at me.
But 35 was a more reasonable
Me
starting
and
point.
Everything King. Y'all laughed at him.
Shout out Everything King, man.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Everything King.
The Wolves were down 25 at one point last night.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Shea.
Yeah.
He needs a little bit more.
Can't be MVP anymore. I'm kidding.
Oh, by the way, Birmingham Fire Department is here, so make sure we got everything plugged in properly.
Oh.
Hey. No, shoot.
All right. That's why.
Hopefully they fixed that damn fire alarm that went off randomly.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that. But you know what, man? It's been a great show. Thank you, chat family, for what you've done to support us this morning. We reached over our like goal. If you get the opportunity to and you haven't, hit that like button for the end of the show. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, that dude Justin, for the work he does for the show, the work he does for the network, socials, and jumping on with the Wings content as well. Kavasier Chase, what up, though, brother?
Hey, what up, though? Hope you guys are having a good day. Go check out the Woodward Sports YouTube page, the Monster Jam vlog, kind of recapping and taking you behind the scenes with Spencer, with Ryan Lance, with myself. JB was there as well, with Easy, with his son Lil B, everybody else who was there having a good time both days. So check that out. Cool video. Like I said, like, comment, share, and hopefully we got some more cool stuff like that to share with you guys. You know, as like we get more into the summer, more cool events like that come to Detroit, we can showcase, you know, all the fun stuff going on in and around Detroit. So hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, Heavyweights wrapping up the day. Woodward Sports, best sports coverage in Michigan. Shout out my dad. Shout out the guys at Seymour Ford.
Talk about it, bro. Hey, you know what? This elite booth. We got KG, Detroit's number one draft pick in the sound booth. What up, though, Black Hollywood? Rookie of the year, MVP, just cooking.
Hey, man, you know I'm feeling good, man. Can't wait to, you know, finally put this shit to bed tomorrow, man. Shout out Rod, providing us his time. But, you know, shout out to everybody in the chat. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all's support and trying to help us get to Vegas as well, man. It is absolutely huge. We appreciate all of your contributions this morning. And shout out to my team, man. Let's do this shit again.
Let's do it again. Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. More appropriately on a Victory Tuesday. In the TD booth. What up, though, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Once again, shout out to the chat family. Thanks for helping us out. Once again, anything that you give to get us to Vegas, we truly do appreciate it. And look forward to talking to Rod tomorrow. Hopefully he still got that sticky note up in the
You know he do. You know he do. He petty like that. Me and him is the same
42.
person. I already know he got that sticky note still.
Come on, KG. 42.
Chuck Brewer said KG's new number is 39.
It might be. Tune in tomorrow. We'll find out. No, y'all want me to go lower? I'm going lower. God damn it. 42 not good enough for y'all. 38.
38.
Oh, man, you know what? The vet of the squad, vet of the network, that is Flannel Sam, Red Wings correspondent, all sports lover, ball knower. What up, though, brother?
Hey, tune in to our show tomorrow when we have Rod Beard on. The whole show, but that segment is going to be electric because, KG, you know that it was supercharged when Rod brought out the sticky note.
Yeah, man.
That's the type of thing where, like, I'll show, like, even my non-sports fan friends and family, and it gets a laugh out of them. That was a content goal.
I feel like J. Cole when he made that song about Nas. I let Rod down, man. I let Rod down. I did. I feel bad. I let Rod down.
We've been having comments about that. People like, bro, I absolutely lost it on that. People are like commenting, bro, I can't wait for the next episode. So, you know, shout out to Rob for making it great. Shout out to you guys for running as well with Woodward Pistons. It's been different iterations around, you know, Rob Beard and I on this podcast for now going on 4 years. And this is one of the more fun ones. You know, shout out to Jeff because he's played a real crucial role in what we were as a crew early on. But in terms of the collaborative approach, WUW Crew is it, man.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports is it. I appreciate that we have some of the best Pistons coverage around, and it stays steady even during the down years. I remember when you was up here with Jeff, y'all was still like, we're going to have Kool-Aid on.
Yeah.
And it was epic. It was dope. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to the Pistons for even giving us the platform now to talk about them the way that we are, man.
I love it. And now we're reaping the benefits. Now we're doing shows where more than half of it's Pistons and everybody is all for it. Everybody's all for it. It is incredible. It's always a little bit more fun for me to be talking about teams that are playing games. Not that off-season talk isn't great, but the fact that April in the D might be back in full.
Off-season needs to be playoffs. It doesn't need to start with just, hey, what are we doing in the off-season? That's where we are now. It has to be playoffs, and that's the conversation these teams, including the Red Wings, have put us in. The Tigers and Lions, they punched their playoffs. When the Wings and the Pistons do, all 4 teams would have made the playoffs in their last full season.
Detroit is back, and the college team's doing good. Detroit is back.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, man. Hey, it's your boy Brandon Dan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Smash that like button, y'all. Thank you, guys. Stay consistent with the super chat goals for us, and we're going to have some fun at Vegas, man. We appreciate you guys. Let's wake up, Woodward. Let's have a day.